Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. The Senate has called on the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, and members of the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Apex Bank to, as a matter of urgency, use their expertise to redirect the monetary policies, the fiscal policies to ensure that Nigerians get out of the current economic quagmire. Senate to Cardoso, MPC members. Speaking immediately after the confirmation of Cardoso as chairman of MPC and 11 other members, the president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, however, hailed President Bola Tinubu for selecting men and women of great expertise that will help the country with policies that would help turn around the CBN and redirect the monetary policies of the Federation for the good of all Nigerians. Meanwhile, the Senate has confirmed the appointment of the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, as the chairman and members of the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Apex Bank. The Registrar Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, NMCN, Professor Abubakar Farouk, has disclosed that enrollment in nursing in Nigeria institutions of learning has increased by almost 50%. He added that the present administration's commitment towards producing competent and professional nurses has seen enrollment increase from 38,000 to 63,000 in 2023. Speaking at the maiden matriculation program of Mercy Medical University, Iwo, Osun State, he charged the newly admitted students of the institution to patiently go through their training to use their acquired knowledge to serve humanity. The Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has emerged as the winner of the Parallel People's Democratic Party, PDP, primaries in Edo State. Shaibu won the primaries with over 301 votes. Meanwhile, the governor, Godwin Obaseki, faction of the party, is yet to commence its own election. Nigerian senators has unanimously kicked against plans to increase electricity tariff, describing the move as retrogressive and ill-timed. The upper chamber also mandated its Committee on Power to investigate the over 2 trillion naira subsidy requirement as alleged by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. Kikelomo Okere has details.
After a robust debate on a motion by Senator representing Adamawa Central, Iya Ibas, the lawmakers urged the federal government to immediately stand down the idea of an increase in electricity tariff in the country. In his lead debate, Senator Abbas explained that the indebtedness of the country's power sector to electricity generating companies and gas companies had risen to over 3 trillion naira.
Our Senate should note with the greatest dismay the plan to increase electricity tariff by the relevant statutory authority in gross disregard of increased economic challenges with attendant widespread poverty and high cost of living. The Senate might note that the Honorable Minister of Power was reported saying the nation must begin to move towards a cost-effective tariff model as the country is currently indebted to the tune of 1.3 trillion naira to generating companies and $1.3 billion owed gas companies, according to him. Over 2 trillion needed for subsidy. Only 415 billion was budgeted for in 2024.
Contributing to the motion, Senator Abba Moro, representing Benue South, says Nigeria must first be sufficient in generation and distribution of power before considering an increase in tariff.
I think our concern for this moment should be how to generate electricity and effectively, adequately distribute electricity. Most of the problems that we are having today, especially in the manufacturing sector of the economy, is as a result of low power. And many organizations and companies are relocating from Nigeria simply because they don't have energy to drive their organizations. And so, Mr. President, I support this motion, and I want to say that this Senate should resolve again, like the Senate did in the 9th Senate, that the desire to raise electricity should be put on hold.
On his part, Senator representing Sokoto South, Aminu Tambuwal, says the removal of any subsidy on electricity is insensitive, describing the move as adding petrol to fire.
The populace are facing untold hardships, and the situation in the country is anything but normal. And removal of any subsidy, not to talk of electricity subsidy, will be more than adding petrol to fire.
In his remark, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, aligned with his colleagues, noting that any increase will further throw Nigerians into untold hardship, especially now that they are grappling with hunger and high cost of living.
And most importantly, thank our distinguished colleagues for their contributions and opposition to the idea of increasing electricity tariff at this time due to the current cost of things across the country and the sufferings of people. And Nigerians are very worried about the following increases in products across the country, and urge the Committee on Power to work closely with the Minister of Power to ensure that the resolutions of the Senate are respected in order to ameliorate and reduce any contemplated suffering on consumers of electricity in the country.
The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, last week disclosed at a press conference in Abuja that Nigeria was not likely to sustain the current electricity subsidy. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State said the state is ready to deploy 10,000 officials of the state security outfit Neighborhood Watch for state police. Sanwo-Olu stated this during a media chat in Lagos. The governor said the neighborhood officials will be deployed immediately the federal government and the National Assembly firm up constitutional provisions for the establishment of state police. According to the governor, men of the Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps, LNSC, a uniformed security agency established by a law of the Lagos State House of Assembly in 2016, will be pulled out to join the state police. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, who was arrested on Wednesday in Benin, Edo State capital, by operatives of Zone 5 Police Headquarters, has been released on bail. It was gathered that his arrest was a result of a petition forwarded to the zone from the office of the Inspector General of Police in Abuja. After his release, around 2 a.m. on Thursday, Abure, while addressing his supporters, said the struggle to liberate the people does not come easy. He said his persecution meant to destabilize the party started after the general election in 2023. Abure says the state chairman, Kelly Ogbaloy, and the state youth leader were still being held and would likely be released later today. A notorious bandit kingpin, popularly called Boderi, who orchestrated kidnappings in Yori school girls, Greenfield University and Nigerian Defense Academy attacks, has been killed. Boderi, who was killed with another kingpin, Bodejo, in an ambush by troops of the 1 Division Nigerian Army spokesperson Major General Onyema Nwachukwu disclosed this in a statement on Thursday. Nwachukwu says the duo was neutralized with their foot soldiers during troops operations along Boda Riyawa axis on the Kaduna-Benin Gwari Road. He says troops have embarked in several operations in Benin Gwari, Igabi, and Giwa local governments to flush out the insurgents from these areas and bring succor to the people. Meanwhile, the Trade Union Congress has backed out of the planned two-day nationwide protest declared by the Nigerian Labour Congress over the high cost of living, inflation, insecurity and hardship in the economy. The Vice President of the TUC, Tomi Etim, stated that the decision to protest on February 27 and 28 as announced by the NLC was not taken collectively by both unions. The TUC, in a letter written by its Secretary General Nuhu Toro, said the NLC unilaterally took the decision on the planned protest. Etim, in the interview, confirmed the letter addressed to the NLC President Joe Ajaero, adding that by the virtue of the letter, there is no way they can join the protest. Troops of one division of the Nigerian Army eliminated a notorious bandit kingpin identified as Bodari, as we had told you earlier, who allegedly orchestrated many high-profile kidnappings, including the Yori schoolgirls, Greenfield University and the Nigerian Defense Academy attacked. This was disclosed by the Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Onwachuku. Moving on, the Lagos State and Ogun State Police Commands have commenced a joint patrol on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to prevent crime and criminality in the area. The Lagos Police Public Relations Officer Espin Benjamin Hundeyin disclosed this in a post on his X handle. According to Hundeyin, the joint patrols will cover Kara Bridge to Shagamu interchange. He urged motorists not to panic at the sight of increased police patrols on the travel route. You're watching the news cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the news cycle returns, banks sell $172 million as CBN, EFCC battle currency speculators. The news continues shortly with details of this and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, if you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle. On the foreign scene, the UK has airdropped aid into Gaza for the first time since war broke out after striking a deal with Jordan. 4 tons of supplies, including medicines, food and fuel, were delivered into the Strip on a Jordanian Air Force plane on Wednesday. Packages fitted with parachutes floated down to the Tal Al-Hawa Hospital in northern Gaza. UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron says the aid would save lives and keep the hospital running. The UK has until now only sent aid to Gaza by land and sea, but northern Gaza, a wasteland after nearly 5 months of war, is impossible to reach. Now let's take a quick look at business. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has stated that it uncovered and destroyed 82 illegal refineries in the Niger Delta between February 10th and 15th, 2024. The NNPCL also said that 223 incidents were recorded in the past week by several sources. It was added that several illegal storage sites were discovered across the Niger Delta region, while sacks and cans containing stolen crude oil were discovered in Rivers and Edo State. The NNPCL added that 83 wooden and fiber boats conveying stolen crude oil were arrested in Rivers. Now, the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria has concluded plans to automate its trading operations to eliminate the activities of market speculators and street traders. This was as the association backed the recent clampdown by the government on persons selling and buying foreign currencies on the streets. Since the year started, Nigeria's local currency has depreciated severely, sliding down to 1,900 naira, owing to low liquidity and surging demand for the US dollar. The APCON president, Aminu Gwadabe, said the association has developed an automation platform which, if okayed by the Central Bank of Nigeria, would help revolutionize the retail FX market. The Naira gained marginally against the United States dollar at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market on Tuesday, closing at 1,542.58 Naira per dollar from 1,551 Naira per dollar recorded. The rate represents a 2.9% appreciation from the 1,598.54 Naira traded on Monday and a meager 0.58% against Tuesday's rate. According to data from the FMDQ Securities Exchange, a platform that oversees FX trading in Nigeria, the local currency hit an all-time intraday high of 1,755 Naira and an intraday low of 1,050 Naira. Also, the foreign exchange turnover increased to 172.14 million dollars from the $66.43 million and $117.32 million recorded on Monday and Tuesday, respectively. The federal government raised 1.5 trillion naira through bonds at its February auction instead of the 2.5 trillion naira it was targeting. The Debt Management Office in a press release disclosed that the 2031 bond had a total allotment of 873.53 billion naira, while that of the 2034 bond stood at 621.38 billion naira. Last week, the federal government sought to borrow 2.5 trillion naira via bonds, the second time it was approaching the fixed income markets this year. It stated that the offerings consisted of 1.25 trillion naira with a maturity date of February 2031 and 1.25 trillion naira with a 10-year tenure. Now in sports, a court in Spain has found former Barcelona and Brazil footballer Dani Alves guilty of raping a woman in a Barcelona club. He has been sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. The 40-year-old, who is one of the most decorated footballers in history, had denied sexually assaulting the woman in the early hours of 31st December 2022. His lawyer had asked for him to be acquitted and Alves can appeal against the sentence. Alves had been accused of luring the woman to the toilet in a VIP section of the nightclub and had argued that she could have left if she wanted to. However, the court found that she did not consent. In a statement, the court said there was evidence other than the victim's testimony that proved that she had been raped. It also ordered him to pay 150 million euros to the victim. And in the world of entertainment, US rapper Rick Ross has said he would like to express his love to Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu. This, he said, along with his intention to bring attention to the Nigerian culture. He made this known in a video that went viral on X. The hip-hop legend said he wants to show love to world leaders and bring global cultures to the spotlight. He noted he would like to begin with Nigeria and its president, President Bola Tinubu. And that's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.